welcome to the show. Jedi Rich here. New York City, Times Square, Manhattan. How's everyone doing today? Check it out. Here, I almost said Vegas. I did so many broadcasts in Vegas, it's ridiculous. We can tell you so much about Las Vegas. Well, actually, we have told you quite a bit. And it's kind of the point of this blog today, is to discuss the differences between the energy that we're feeling in New York City versus the energy that we felt when we were back in Las Vegas. And when I say energy, what I mean is sexual energy. That's what people say when they say a place has good energy. They say it has a good sexual energy, that people are young, single, very active. You know, that creates this sort of vibe that people really get drawn to. It's a youthful energy. And that's what people look for. So that's what people say when they're saying, hey, this place has a really good energy, or that place, I don't like the energy at that place. Usually the girls are meaning that the sexual energy is really off. And a girl says it's bad energy, it's usually, maybe it's just too many men. Usually the case is that there's too many men. When you have more men than females, it creates this sort of really, really strange, aggressive tone that no one likes. It usually ends up in violence. It's all about, I don't even know what it's very, very primal. However, when you're in a place where there's more females than males, sociologically speaking, this isn't me, this is sociology. A place that has more females than males, then there tends to be a much more sexual vibe. So, when we say like you're looking for a good place to go party, good energy, you know this, because what do you say when you, like, what's the first question? When you say, someone says, hey man, I want to go to this club. How was it, or what's the energy like over there? And they'll say, oh, it was awesome. Or they'll say, it's a total sausage fest. Meaning there's too many guys. So we inherently know that too many guys ruins the party. So there's an optimal number, and the fact is that when you have more females than males, everything's chill. That's just sociology 101. And when I say females, they have to be obviously attractive females. They have to be sexually attractive females. When I say sexually attractive, I mean they have to be healthy. I mean, just having a bunch of females running around that are huge and large and, sickly, don't care about what they look like or eat, that doesn't cut it. And that's what we're talking about, the difference between certain places and other places. And in this case, we're talking about New York City and Las Vegas. So as you see, there's Madame Tussauds. Madame Tussauds, believe it or not, is owned by Blackstone. Blackstone is a real estate group that owns Hilton Hotels International, or is a majority shareholder of that corporation, Hilton Hotels. So they have a lot to do with the resorts world in Las Vegas, and Blackstone also recently acquired several properties in Las Vegas. And to name a few, it was the Mandalay Bay, the Delano, Circus, Aria, Badara. What else am I missing, guys? And, the Bellagio. And of course, the MGM had to sell the Grand. They sold the Grand Hotel. The MGM Grand is now owned by Blackstone. It's no longer owned by MGM. Y'all do good. Y'all do good. Look here. What's up, brother? Positive energy. So now I point that out. What I pointed that out for a reason. See, the cops there. That guy is clearly intoxicated. He's having a good time. He may or may not even have a place to go. But he's not hurting anyone. He's just having a good time. So in New York City, they say, enjoy yourself. Have a good time. And what's happened in Las Vegas is that there's a new temperament now. And that temperament says, hey, if you're homeless, you have no place to go, or if you're drunk in public, or if you're partying too hard, we're going to arrest you. And the reason why that's happened is because a number of things have changed since October 1st, 2017. After October 1st, 2017, that's when things really shifted in Las Vegas. Because a lot of people from California started moving to Las Vegas for cheap housing, bigger houses, and more money. There's no state income tax in Nevada. So as the taxes in California were going up and house prices were going up, people were saying, hey, let's sell our house that's kind of overpriced right now. We're getting a lot of money for it. We could buy a lot more house in Nevada. And that's what they've been doing. So those type of people that do that are usually families. They're not like artists. Those are usually people trying to really get ahead. Basically greedy people. I mean, to put it down to it, if you're gonna move just because for the money, then you're a greedy person. I mean, that's a fact. And there's not a lot of reasons why people move to Las Vegas other than the reasons I just mentioned. Okay, now I lay that down for the reason. Oh no, thank you. I lay that down for the reason of this is I have kind of laid the background there of what happened. So you have Las Vegas's population grew very quickly. So there's a huge migration into Nevada, into Las Vegas specifically, of people that wanted, they were married people, they're families. They weren't single, they weren't young people. There wasn't that youthful energy that we're talking about that New York has. So these families, what they like, and there's families here too, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like this place is family exclusive, it's just that it's not all family. And what happened is the families that took over Las Vegas, once October 1st came in, then all those people from California that kind of resented the Strip, and they didn't really want, these people partying in their town, really had the opportunity to pass some laws that put down the iron fist on partying in Las Vegas. They passed a lot of anti-people laws. So in downtown Las Vegas, it's currently illegal to be homeless, which is a violation of the United States Constitution, 8th Amendment. But they got around it because what they say is they made some sort of hoop-de-doop law. I doubt if it would hold up if they really challenged it, but they said, hey, if there's space in the shelter available, and you're on the street, then you're going to jail. The problem with that is that when those guys try to go to the shelters, the first thing they do is they screen them for drugs. If there's any drugs in their system, they won't let them in the house. So, why do you think most people are homeless? Right. It's because there's a lot of reasons. I don't want to overgeneralize why people are homeless. There's a lot of reasons. If it was just giving them money, that wouldn't be the issue. But it's not. So it's more complicated than just having a place to go. But they say, hey, if you can't get into a shelter, which means that if you are using drugs or drinking, then you have to have somebody else place to go to. You can't hang out on the streets of Las Vegas. If you do, you'll get arrested. Okay, now that sort of energy is very different than the energy that they send, the message they send here. As you saw with those officers there, that guy was very drunk. They didn't carry him a place to go. They were questioning him. They might even, who knows if they checked his ID or not, but they clearly did not view him as a threat. So, all this cool art fair here. You guys should have seen it over the weekend. This is Sunday. It's pretty mild today. But they got a lot of independent artists out here bringing their stuff. A lot of photographers, a lot of photography. And then, of course, just the usual merchandise stuff that you'll see. But this is really what kind of makes New York kind of interesting, because you can find some very, very unique things for sale on the side here. And this guy's he makes his own stuff here. He's just a designer here making some cool shit. And that's one of the differences between New York and Las Vegas. Las Vegas doesn't allow those people that we were talking about. They pass laws that make it so independent artists or street vendors cannot perform without a city permit and without getting all sorts of, going through a lot of hoopla, which a lot of them can't get. So a lot of them went away. And New York City, I don't know what the rules are here, but very cool stuff though, man. Yeah, I'm plugging it, man. Check them out.